Steven Coreno, KO Artist Sports, are here with the great Peter Berg. Man, for boxing fans, I feel like we have to mention the Great White Hype. Man, that was a great boxing movie. I feel like underrated because it was a comedy. It was, But do you get boxing fans talking to you about that movie?
Yes, quite a bit.
Yeah.
Asking me to sing the Mr. Roper song. I've sung that to football teams in halftime, high school, pro, and college. That was a really fun movie, and surprisingly accurate about, like, it was a comedy and an absurd comedy, but anybody that knows anything about this sport knows that there's a lot of absurd comedic nonsense that goes on every single day in boxing.
I love the line that Damon says, like, you're trying to embarrass me on TV. That was so good. It was a great movie, man. Were you already a boxing fan prior to that, and you just kind of made that movie?
Yeah, so for me, it started like when I was like 11, and I went to a camp, sleepaway camp in Cape Cod, and the counselors were insane, and at night they would wake up two of us, like you and me. They'd wake us up, take us out to the woods, and they would have taken rope and wrapped it around trees and made a ring, and they would all be drunk, and they'd park the cars so the lights were in this little patch of dirt, and they'd put gloves on us and they'd make us fight.
Wow.
It was like, you couldn't do that today, that's for sure.
No way.
But it was, I just loved it, and I always found, like, as a filmmaker, I get to go to different cities all the time, and we kind of set up shop for like 4 months in a city, and I would just find a local boxing gym and join it and train, and it was a great way for me to keep my head straight, my body in shape, and just meet really interesting people. So I've always had a love of the sport and love having this gym and trying to do a little bit to help, keep the legacy of boxing strong.
Yeah, no, it's great, man. This is a beautiful gym too. Let's talk a little boxing, man. I'm sure as a boxing fan, you were probably like the rest of us. Spence Crawford didn't get made. What was your kind of initial reaction to that?
I mean, just like, I think like so many people, I get frustrated that this sport doesn't seem to know how to get out of its own way. And I don't know that it ever will. We're here to do a press conference and one of the fighters doesn't show up. That's boxing, right? Spence Crawford, like, okay. I was saying earlier, like, it's going to be kind of a shame if in 10 years people remember Jake and Logan Paul as great fighters, but they don't know who Terence Crawford was. Like this sport has a real tough time letting great names and big fights happen. And, is that the end of the world? No. Would it be better for boxing if they fought again? Canelo seems to be the only one who consistently puts his money where his mouth is and puts his balls where his money and mouth are and takes the biggest fights he can. And if everyone was doing that, we would remember the fighters as much as people are going to remember the Paul brothers. And respect to the Paul brothers for doing that, but come on. I don't like it.
Yeah, you're speaking like a true fight fan, man. You could tell it sucks when the fights don't get made. One that it seems like we are going to get next year, hopefully, Tank versus Ryan. That's a good fight of
It's a good fight names. For we'll see. Like, let's see what if Ryan can handle that. It's a great fight. If not, it could be a great white hype situation. I don't think it is. I think Ryan's a good fighter, but so it's a good fight. And those are two high-profile, big-name, well-followed fighters. More of that, all the time.
Well, another one I want to say, this guy's been in this gym. David Benavidez kind of frequents this gym a lot. I know he sparred Duvall and Ramirez and stuff here. He's got a big one against Caleb Plant. That one's a done deal. So luckily we got.
That's a good fight. That's a good fight, and again, the fact that Benavidez is an incredibly gifted athlete. In my mind, he's one of the finest fighters that this professional sport has in it. He should be rising. His stars should be going up. And I know how challenging it is for him to get the fights that he wants. I think Caleb Plant is a good fight. And I hope more people learn who David Benavidez is. He's a really talented, exciting, dynamic athlete, and deserves a lot of recognition.
Who's Peter Berg's top 3 pound for pound right now, would you say?
I mean, you've got to put Bivol in there. I do. I put Canelo in there. And I don't know enough. Beterbiev?
Beterbiev? Yeah.
No, Beterbiev. See, like I'm saying, I don't know enough about Beterbiev to know how good he is. He seems to be really good. So I'll put him on the side because since I can't even say his name right, I don't know him that well. I know I've never met him. I've seen some of his fights. I just love Tyson Fury, you know. And I think the top dog like that at heavyweight, what he's done, you have to respect it.
It's maybe the greatest of all time. I mean, it's size-wise and everything. It'd be hard for guys to
beat it.
Obviously, we're talking generational, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's an enormous guy and enormous talent.
So I put him up there.
There it is. Peter Berg, thank you so much for your time, man. It was a pleasure.
All right, brother.